enlightenment, enjoyment, and entertainment.
He's not here to talk about your feelings. He's not here to say what you want to hear. He's here to say what needs to be said.
Ladies and gentlemen, and children of all ages, please welcome your host, the pimp hand of America, Professor Paul Markle.
Hey, Jarrad, I got some good news for you.
What's that?
I just saw the Las Vegas Review-Journal release a story that said starting in 2020, the SHOT Show will expand into the MGM Grand Conference Center and then the Caesars Forum in 2021. So in addition to being at the Sands through 2027, they're going to have additional booth space at the MGM Grand and Caesars. So you know what that means to us?
What?
It means even more booths that we won't have time to see.
Yeah. Wait, are you serious?
Yeah, I'm not joking. This is absolutely true.
Holy cow, I thought that was a joke.
No, it's an actual news story just released today.
So they're going to be in all three places at one time.
Yep. They're going to have booths at the Sands. They're going to have them in the hallways, in the janitor's closet. They're going to have them in the basement, and then they're like, oh well, we talked to the MGM and they said they had like some closet space and maybe like an empty ballroom. We'll put some booths in there. Do you know how far away the MGM is from the Sands?
Are you actually kidding or is this real?
No, it's real.
Oh, because you just said closet and booth. Okay.
No, I'm kidding about that. They call the MGM. They're like, hey, you guys got any janitor's closets you're not using? They're like, yeah, we do. And they're like, well,
great. I'm glad that they're expanding and like it's getting bigger. Well, that means there's more people in the industry. But what? That doesn't make any sense.
You know, all right. I know Las Vegas geography.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And the Sands / Venetian area is hell and gone from the MGM. Okay. The MGM's all the way at the bottom of the strip.
Maybe they got with the people that do the NAB show, National Association of Broadcasters, and they borrowed the automated vehicle to transport people from one location to another.
Oh, yeah. So, you know how we used to. So now when you book your hotel room, you know, we always book so that we could just walk to the floor. We wouldn't have to worry about taking a cab or an Uber or whatever, because you know, there's 60, 80,000 people there and not everybody can take cabs and Ubers. And it's easier just to walk. There's no way. I tell you, look at me. You see my face? This guy, I'm not walking from the Sands to the MGM. That means you're going to either have to take a trolley, a tram, a Uber, a cab, or whatever. Well, and here's what I'm sure what they're saying is like, well, no, what you can do is you can just plan one of your days. You know, one of your days you can plan to be at the MGM, and then another day you can plan to be at the Sands, and then in 2021 they'll be over at the Caesars Forum, so you can be at the Caesars. And in the story it says about how, you know, we're trying to NASS or NSSF is like, we've been trying to get people off of the waiting list, and we can't even. Not only can't we get them off the waiting list, but we can't get them. We can't allow people to expand their booths and stuff. I tell you, the country club memberships in Connecticut must be through the roof. That's
what I'm hoping is that they'll put all of us misfits in one building somewhere.
No. Think about it. All right, think about who we need to go see. They're always, I mean, even now, half of our people are on the main floor, half of our people are in the basement. You know the easy solution? Say what the easy solution is. Easy solution is and ladies and gentlemen, I love you all. Well, you know, and I'm going to tell you this. If you are in the firearms industry and you are a direct to customer sales business, you have a website, maybe you have a store. Most of you guys like have web e-commerce, and you sell your products directly to the consumer. They get on your website, they order your widget, your gadget, your whatever it is, and you send it directly to them without a retail or without a wholesaler, without a distributor. Those direct to customer sales, right? You don't need to go to the SHOT Show. You can go, don't buy a booth. If you're direct to customer sales, and you buy a booth at SHOT Show, you're wasting your money. And you're wasting your time because instead of being out on the floor making contacts, you're sitting in a booth. But what do I know? I don't know anything. I've only been in this industry for 25 years. I don't know anything. Yes, so that's a real thing. I dropped it in the show notes. That's a real thing. So now there are going to be even more booths that we won't have time to see. You know, it's going to be, we're going to go to a show and people are like, oh man, you got to come by my booth. Come by my booth, man. Where's your booth? I'm booth 3718. 3718? Where's that? Oh, it's in the MGM. You're hurting me. You're hurting my brain. Oh, and I just dropped that into the wrong show notes. I dropped it into into Monday's show notes. It should be in Wednesday's show notes.
That'd be better.
There we go. There we go. All right. What do you guys? I see a tracking thing here, and I see a reminder for the Patriot bookshelf. Okay. All right. Cool.
Oh, is that for you, Zach?
That's just so either of us can, if either of us slap in a link, we can real quick copy paste, boom.
Slap it. Slap it.
We'll delete it once we're done, but it's there for convenience.
Okay. All right. Cool. Oh, is that enough? Is that enough? All right. We've got a Brownell's bullet point for you, and I want you guys to listen up and pay close attention to what Jarrad's about to tell you.
I'm about to tell you something.
Roll the music, DJ.
Oh, okay. I was like, all right.
Roll the music,
I will tell you something. Books every American patriot should read and understand. Just go to patriotbookshelf.com.
Yes, indeedy do. I wanted to let you guys know that or remind you to sign up for the Brownell's web review, whatever you call it, the newsletter. Go on the internet and sign up for the newsletter, because if you do that, you will never miss crazy sales like the ones that I want you guys to have everything it is that you need. I really do. I want you guys to have everything it is that you need. And in order to do that, I need for you guys to make sure that, that you're paying attention. I went to the website, and remember we talked, was it about a couple weeks ago, about the fact that the Brownells was going to be carrying night vision sights, but they needed to get all the product photos in.
Yeah.
See, something about product or about night vision or Brownells. I'm sorry, Brownells that we know that you may not know is that all of the product photos that they put on their website are their photos. They do that for two reasons. A, because they own the photos and they don't have to worry about that. And B, for continuity's sake. So when you see a photo, it's a photo that was actually taken of the product there at Brownells. And that's a great thing. But the downside is that before they can add something to their website, an actual photographer, and they've got a couple of them on staff, have to take the pictures and upload them. So we have known that the night vision sights were going to be available on the Brownells website. I am at the website now, and I'm not seeing the Student of the Gun Accurate sites. I don't see them there yet.
Say what?
Yes, I don't see them at Brownells yet. So
on Brownells.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Brownells.com.
Sorry, I was focusing on something else, and you said something website, not seeing Accurate. So I thought I was like, wait, what?
No, I don't see them. That I see the other stuff. I see the other stuff, but I don't see ours. And I'm hoping that it's not, and these are all marked as brand new products. They've got the little new flag on them, the new and in stock. They got that new car smell, but they are not, ours are not listed yet. I just thought you guys would enjoy that and appreciate it. As I did mention on Monday, they have ammunition on sale right now, and I don't want you guys to be short. Somebody asked me the other day, they said, well, all right, when you say have enough ammo, what do you mean? Well, what do you mean? What I mean? You're like, well, you say make sure that you have enough. And was it 500 rounds or 100 rounds or whatever? I guess it really depends on what you're going to do with the gun. If you actually are going to practice and get training in, you need to have 1,000 rounds of practice ammo on you and start working through that. If
Like
you
in
have
my pockets,
what's that?
like in my pockets.
No, available to you that you can put your hands on immediately. The way I feel is I personally, when you were young and you had a bank account and you used to watch like literally every dollar in your bank account. Like you could ask someone ask you when you're young, you have a bank account. Someone says, how much money do you have in your bank? You'd be like, I have $37. When you used to you'd calculate the ATM fee to figure out whether or not it was going to overdraw you, you know. And when we were young, a young married couple, if we had less than $100 in the account, I felt nervous. I felt that nervousness if we had less than $100. And then as you progress, hopefully you make a little bit more money in your life and you start putting some away. Then you get to the point where the threshold goes up and you're like, okay, if I don't have 500, I feel nervous. Or if I don't have $1,000 in the savings account, I feel nervous. Same thing with ammo. I'm at the point now where if I don't have at least 500 rounds of a specific training ammo, 945, 223, whatever, it's time to buy more. It's like gas. I don't get down to a quarter tank in my truck. I'm below a half, I fill it. I don't do the whole, let's see how far we can go. And, let's see how far we can go before the light comes on. Nope. If I hit the half mark or it dips below the half mark, I'm filling it back up. And that's the way I feel with ammo. And if you guys are out there and you're thinking, well, I don't know. I know some of you, and somebody said, yeah, but Paul, I can't do that because I have so many guns of so many different calibers. Okay. Are they, and look in the mirror and say, is this gun for serious endeavors, or is this just a hobby piece? I've got some guns that I'll admit to you that I don't shoot often. I'm not going to get rid of them. I'm not going to throw them away or anything, but I don't shoot them all that often. So if I only have a couple hundred rounds for that particular gun, I'm okay with that. But if it's the pistol that you're carrying on your body every single day, if it's the rifle that you have propped up near your bed at home or what have you, get the ammo. And yeah, like I said, people are like, oh, but I don't want to buy a case of ammo or I don't want to buy a can because you have to pay the shipping and the shipping's expensive.
Not from Brownells.
No, because they run free shipping codes all the time. Like right now, code VA3 and VA code number VA4 as we record this is free shipping. Standard ground shipping. So you buy 1,000 round can for $209. You get free shipping. That's 20.9 cents per shot. And you get a USGI ammo can, which you're never going to throw away. But can you ever, at one point, Zachary testifying.
Testifying as to something. What?
At one point in our lives, did we have more than enough ammo cans?
Yes, we were literally giving them away.
Yes.
To our friends and
But
acquaintances.
now I'm back in that position where I was like, no, I don't. Is there anybody in the audience that has ever come to had the feeling that they said, well, I have too many ammo cans. I'm going to get rid of some of these. If you have too many ammo cans, contact Zachary
Yeah.
and he'll give you an address, and we'll take them off your hands.
Didn't somebody already do that? Somebody gave you some of the
Yeah, actually,
30 cal can.
yeah,
That was cool.
a couple of our listeners, friends, actually from here in Wyoming.
Yeah.
You know who you are.
We got some 30 caliber ammo cans, which are they don't hold as much, but they're super convenient.
Mhm.
It's good to have both sizes. It's good to have the 50 cal ones and the 30 cal ones. But yeah, if you order the M882 ammunition from Brownell's right now, $209 plus free shipping. So you're talking about military grade, not the cheap aluminum case stuff or the steel case stuff. We're talking about genuine GI Joe ammunition here, mil spec ammo in a mil spec ammo can for 20 cents a shot. It's not going to get much better than that. I mean, it might, but brothers and sisters, remember what have I always said? What have I been saying? What's the buy price? The buy price on 5.56 is 30 cents. The buy price on 9 is 20 cents. So if I'm your ammunition stockbroker, I'm on the end of the phone going, buy, buy, buy. So that is your recommendation for this week. Frog Lube, it's green, it's minty fresh. It's a bio-based firearms lubricant. It's a U.S. military veteran-owned company, and it's extreme. Do you need any other reason? No, you don't. There you
And
go.
you could actually apply that to your ammo cans to keep them from rusting.
You know what I apply to my ammo cans to keep them from rusting, Jared?
What? What did you say?
Paint.
Oh, paint. Okay.
Yeah, that is one thing about steel ammo cans is if you knock them around a bunch and scrape them, eventually they'll rust. But it's easy. You scrape all that rust off with steel wool, and then you paint them, and you drive on with your life, and it's wonderful.
What kind of paint could you put on them?
Now, I'm gonna tell you that I don't Duracoat my ammo cans.
But you could.
You could.
You could if you wanted to.
Yeah, and if you wanted to be like super cool, gee whiz.
Oh, that'd be cool. Like get the thing with the clear coat and have it all be all shiny and pretty.
You could do anything you want.
Yeah.
And you just gave me an idea.
You're welcome.
I'm doing a Duracoat project. So the next, I'm going to take one of those 30 caliber cans and I'm going to do it upright.
You're welcome.
Put a shocker on
You're
it.
so welcome.
What's that?
Put a shocker on it.
Oh man, that's right. I didn't have the shocker vinyls when I did my last Duracoat project.
Yeah.
And now I do.
Do you have some at the house or do you need some from me?
I think I have some at the house.
Okay.
I need to take a moment because I know Ben is listening right now to say thank you, Ben, for the shocker. He sent like 50 of those things.
That's called the shocker. You know how people do the ball gazer thing?
You mean you mean white power?
The white powers. Oh my Lord, we're living in a lunatic world.
Wait, what?
So all right, somebody did this and they were accused of throwing a white power gang symbol.
Was it Jarrad?
No, it was a cop. No, what I'm going to start throwing in pictures now, I'm going to start throwing the shocker.
Yes, we should all do that.
Start throwing the shocker.
You guys have fun.
Just work it in there.
Here.
Hey, you do whatever you want, man. But Frog Lube is green. It's minty fresh. It's available from froglube.com. Moving on. Oh, and Brownell's too.
Dude, the wrestling thing, the amateur wrestling thing, remember that?
Oh, what, Brownell's?
My finishing move is going to be called the shocker.
Oh man, if we could get if they could make that happen, that would be monumental.
Make what happen? I think I missed something.
The pro wrestling thing, or the amateur wrestling.
Oh yeah, wait.
Brownells wanted to do
you mean amateur pro
gun
wrestling?
celebrity wrestling. Yeah,
Outlaw wrestling.
Yeah, outlaw wrestling. We're gonna do.
Yeah.
If that happens, it's gonna be monumental.
Like realistically,
yeah,
I kind of have an idea of how that stuff works. So if they need any help with that, contact me.
There you go.
You know my number.
Didn't we already? Yeah.
Possibly.
We already offered your services when we were there.
To Ryan and Roy and Josh. All right. Century Arms, the sweet smelling arms maker in the US of A. Yes, indeed. And they have the NAC 9 action packed. That's right. Action packed. A pack of NAC. They also have the C39 V2 and the RAS 47 and all the Canic pistols. I think they're up to 11 mechanics in the Canic line now.
They go to 11.
They go to 11. They're losing their minds. Check them out at centuryarms.com. Frog Lube, we already talked about, and Duracoat we're going to talk about. Now, well, we've already talked about Duracoat a little bit, but life is too short to have an ugly gun. And if you want to not have an ugly gun, go to DuracoatFirearmFinishes.com. Tell them that Student of the Gun sent you. You know the easiest way to tell them that? Buy slightly darker black. Because they know. They know, you guys out there, if you buy the slightly darker black or the Student of the Gun tattoo, that's going on the can for sure. That's going on the can for sure. I'm making work for myself. SWAT Fuel wants you to have a sharper body a sharper mind and a stronger body.
I mean, you can't have a sharp body.
That's true. You could be sharp. You could be a sharp-dressed man. But SWAT Fuel wants you to be strong. They want you to be healthy. They want you to have a sharp mind. And they can help you do that. That's why they're there. Go to SWATfuel.com and use the promo code SOTG. And when you do that, you're going to save yourself some money. All right, let's move on to our Student of the Gun homeroom. Go ahead, Zach.
Well, I was going to throw something out there. It's feel free to cut this if this is not kosher. Because you're talking about doing the can, right?
Mm-hmm.
Could we hold some kind of competition?
Like can comp?
Like people
like coolest can?
Everyone Duracoats their ammo cans, and then they submit them, and whatever we think was the best, they win a prize.
Obviously, we could do that. We can do anything we want. We're Americans.
Hey, Jarrad, what do you think about that?
Your prize could be a shocker vinyl.
Or, we could whip something up here, or we could, talk to someone. Jarrad, what do you think about what I'm saying?
I think that it's a great idea. And if you're willing to organize that, let's do it.
I will organize that. But here you guys are. Everyone's getting your heads up. So start now. Go to Duracoat.com, order your supplies.
The winner could experience my finishing move.
Yeah.
That could be a gift.
We'll figure out what the prize is and talk about it next week.
If someone is not working on a finishing move, May right now, I'm really going to be sad.
That was the Shockmaster's finishing move.
Really?
Yeah, there's a guy called the Shockmaster, and I'm pretty sure it's called the Shocker.
Oh.
Also, Shocker's a Spider-Man villain. I'll shut up.
Play the music, crazy. All right. Now, this is the Student of the Gun homeroom brought to you by CrossbreedHolsters.com. And what do we say about the homeroom and what do we say about Crossbreed Holsters? And then what do we say about that music? Well, the music that you just heard was Dangerous by Madison Rising, the official rock and roll band of Student of the Gun Radio. And they help you at Crossbreed Holsters. They help you to be dangerous on demand by providing you not with guns, but with the gear that you need to comfortably and concealably carry all the time. Not just occasionally or once in a while or when you feel like it, but belts, holsters, accessories, all that jazz. So you have no excuse not to be dangerous on demand. That is, unless you live in Illinois. If you live in the glorious People's Republic of Illinois, then you can't be dangerous on demand. You can only be dangerous after you cool down. We've got a story here from thehill.com. GOP Illinois governor extends waiting periods for all gun purchases. Story from 7/16/18. That would be July 16th, 2018. Illinois Governor Bruce Ronier, or should I call him Bruce Rhino, Republican in name only, signed a bill on Monday to extend a 72-hour mandatory waiting period for all firearm purchases, not just handguns. The cooling off period, which already applied to handgun purchases, now covers all guns being sold, including assault-style rifles. The Chicago Tribune reported. Now, are those fully semi-automatic? I think we should look into that. Find out whether these guns are fully semi-automatic. Rhino said he was proud, that's in quotes, to sign the protections into law and said it was a, quote, very important step forward to increase safety for all of the people in our state. Hey, Illinois, have you realized that you bought a bill of goods yet? Have you realized that this guy is not a conservative? He's not a constitutionalist. He's a rhino. Have you figured that out yet? Hey, Jarrad, I shared this, and do you remember receiving messages and emails and stuff from people in Illinois admonishing us that it's only Cook County? You know, you are always talking about Illinois being a slave state and stuff, but that's not true. It's Chicago and Cook County. That's where the problem is. That's where the problem is. It's not the whole state.
Well, if you know where the problem is, then there's the first step to fixing it.
Well, what is the capital of Illinois? Is the capital of Illinois Chicago? Now, I know people who go to public school probably think it is. Is the capital of Illinois, is it Cook County? You say, well, no, Paul, it's not. The capital of Illinois is Springfield. And if you look at a map, that's pretty close to being right in the middle of the state. So for all you folk out there from the People's Republic of Illinois who want to write me and tell me that Illinois is not a slave state and it's only Chicago and Cook County that screw up the state. The rest of the state's good. The rest of the state are hardcore, hardworking, conservative Republican people. It's just Cook County and Chicago. Where does the governor sit and sign legislation? Does he sit in Cook County and do it? He probably does it at the Capitol building in Springfield. The governor also signed into law the so-called red flag protections, which allows family members or police to seek court orders for guns to be confiscated from individuals deemed to be an immediate or present danger to themselves or others. Yeah. This is, all right, first of all, a right delayed is a right denied. Rights, do you know, I think I know a little bit of something about inalienable rights. I think I've done just a wee bit of study about inalienable rights. And I've also done a lot of study about privileges. You don't have to wait in line to exercise a right. You don't have to wait to cool down. And of course, in the story, they mentioned Parkland, and they're like, well, after Parkland, these laws have gone into effect after Parkland because Parkland was terrorism. No, it wasn't, Paul. It wasn't terrorism. Yeah, it was. When you use an act of violence perpetrated against citizens to push forward a political agenda, that is the definition of terrorism. Congratulations to Governor Rhino in Illinois for following in the steps of terrorism. I'm pretty sure that in the history of our nation that the people have sued the states and localities over these waiting periods, and the courts have found in certain cases that a right delayed is a right denied. Does that sound familiar to you guys? Now, I'm not a constitutional scholar, but I am a citizen of the United States who reads and understands the English language. If you have to say, "Mother, may I?" and the state says, well, wait, is that a right or is that a privilege? If the state is allowed to tell you when and how you can exercise a right, it's not a right. Okay? Do we understand? Oh, that's right. I forgot. We have rights to free speech and we have property rights. And we have all these rights, these delineated rights. But when it comes to guns, guns are not property. Guns aren't covered under private property because they're guns. The reason that I put this in the dangerous on demand student of the gun homeroom is because, well, in Illinois, you can no longer you can't be on demand unless you already did it. But the truth of the matter is, let's go ahead and be honest with each other. Can we be honest with each other for a little bit? All of you folks out there from Illinois that are sending me letters and sending me messages and telling me, you don't understand, Paul, blah, 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 blah. It's only Cook County. It's only Chicago, blah, 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 blah. No, it's not. Be honest with yourself. You elected a Republican rhino governor, and this guy might as well be straight out of the DNC. Might as well be straight out of the DNC. So, congratulations. And you have inherited the state that you invested in, and you get what you deserve. In the end, most humans get what they deserve and what they have earned. And your weakness in Illinois, you're allowing the corruption, the rampant corruption of Cook County, Chicago, and the corruption in the State House in Springfield. You've allowed it. You've been comfortable, and it's not going to stop anytime soon. So there you go. All right, it's time for me to take a drink and let Alex talk. Alex.
Attention, new listeners. We produced a complimentary online training course called 7 Training Tips That Could Save Your Life. Get instant access by joining the Student Lounge for free at studentofthegun.com. Do you watch Student of the Gun TV, read the blog, and follow us on Facebook? If you answered no to any of these questions, you are wrong, but you can easily fix yourself. Go to studentofthegun.com to find everything SOTG.
Thank you, the lovely Miss Alex, for reminding everyone, if they're a new listener, what they can and should do. And if you have not gone to studentofthegun.com lately, shame on you. You should do that. Go there and enjoy. There's more on studentofthegun.com than you ever imagined that there would be. All right. Well, speaking of slave states and people's republics and tyranny, well, let's pop over to the East Coast to the glorious People's Republic of New Jersey. We have a story here from July 10th, 2018. New Jersey cops came to confiscate guns after son discussed school safety, Dad says. And this is from nj1015.gam. Actually, 1015 stands for 101.5. 101.5 with Dennis and Judy in the morning. I know that because it says it on their website. You want to listen to Dennis and Judy in the morning? Go to 101.5 FM in New Jersey. Dateline, Millstone Township, an Army veteran father says state police, the state popo, tried to confiscate his firearms without a court order or a warrant just because his son was overheard discussing school shooting news with a classmate. So what we have here is we have a combination slave state update and a what? A public school psychological terrorism update here. Kind of mixing them together. Police said their visit was sparked by a conversation that Leonard Cottrell Jr.'s 13-year-old son had with another student at school. Cottrell said he was told his son and another student were discussing security being lax at the Millstone Middle School. How dare they? How dare these peasant children speak out against the state? How dare these peasant children question the state? Kevin, are you listening? Jared, is Kevin listening? Because he knows what happens.
I'm pretty sure he is.
Yeah,
I don't think
when the children question the state. Conversation was overheard by another student. So it wasn't even the two kids that were talking. It was some other little Nazi spy. See, that's what we're creating in our public schools now, is we're creating. How many of you guys have ever read the book 1984? You're like, well, duh, I have. What was Winston? What was he afraid of? Remember Winston's neighbors, the mom and dad? And Winston was assured that eventually the mom and dad were going to disappear because the children were good little party members. The children were taught in their schools to inform on their parents to Big Brother. Yeah. So we have a good little, what did they call them? Were they part of the Truth Scouts, or it was some little youth spy organization? I can't think of it right now. I'm sure you guys can, because you're smart. The conversation was overheard by another student who went home and told his parents. So you've got a little spy for Big Brother here listening to the conversation of two of his classmates, running home and informing to his mommy and daddy. And so his mommy and daddy contacted the school, which contacted the state police. So rather than the school say, hang on a second. So what you're doing is you're coming to me with third-hand information that these two kids were talking about the fact that there have been school shootings in America, because I guess kids aren't supposed to know about that. Or if they're supposed to know, they're not supposed to talk about it, or I don't know, what are they supposed to do? Just be good little slaves and not speak. We know you can't say the word gun in a public school, or they call the SWAT team. So the police, the school, because they're good little minions of the state, they call the state police. Now, you'd think that someone at the state police would say, hang on a second, what now? So you're calling us, the school's calling us to tell us that some parents called them to tell them that their kid overheard some other kids talking about school shootings and a lack of security at their school. So the state police, obviously their response is, well, we thank you, citizen. Thank you for informing us. We will now send out the gun Gestapo. So the visit from the troopers came around 10 p.m.
with no warrant. Remember that.
Yeah. So based upon, all right, I've been through the police academy, believe it or not. I've been through legal training, constitutional training, and state law training, and so forth. And we learned all about probable cause and reasonable articulable suspicion and so forth. So the probable cause for a warrantless entry into a home was a third-party conversation that was referred to them through two different mediaries. Yeah. The visit came from the troopers around 10 p.m. on June 14th, Control said, a day after Governor Phil Murphy signed several gun enforcement bills into law. Well, we got these new laws. We have these new restrictions on the peasants' behavior. We need to send out the policy enforcement officers to enforce the will of His Majesty the King. Among the 6 new gun control laws are the reduction in magazine sizes, as well as red flag provisions that allow firearms to be taken from people who are deemed dangerous by whom? Well, by representatives from the state. Does that sound, Jarrad, Zach, does that sound kind of like unreliable persons?
Yeah, I was just thinking that.
Where have we heard that before? So the state decides on its own that, and you're like, well, they're a police and they can make that decision because they're smarter than everybody and they work for the government. Oh, so the moment you get a government job, you become the amazing Kreskin, and you can divine the thoughts of other humans. And you can decide based upon the fact that you're employed by the government that that person is an unreliable person, and they shouldn't have guns. Yeah, but don't we have constitutional protections against private property? Oh, shut up, peasant! Shut up, peasant! Guns are not property.
I'm still wondering why we are one of the only ones that bring that up, that point.
I don't know. You cats and kittens out there in the student of the gun listening audience, you listen to other radio shows, podcast shows, and everything. Do other hosts equate guns as private property and remind you that guns are property and property have protections under the Constitution? So to continue it on here, it says, after several hours, the police agreed. So they show up at his house. And with no warrant, a warrantless entry into his home, state popo, and say, we're going to take your guns. So the homeowner says, no, you're not. And they're like, yes, we are. And they're like, no, you're not. He says, yes, we are. After several hours, police agreed not to take the guns, but he had to remove them to another location while they continued their investigation. They had admitted several times that my son made no threat to himself or other students. Well, that doesn't matter. That doesn't matter. The facts don't matter. The only fact that matters is you're a peasant and you own guns, and we work for the state, and we're going to come in whether you like it or not. Cottrell said he made it very clear to the police that he was not going to willingly give up his constitutional rights where there was no justifiable cause, warrant, or anything else. The troopers then conducted a warrantless search of his son's room. If there was one attorney in the state of New Jersey that was not corrupt, they would own this. A warrantless entry in the home, a warrantless search. Oh, but you don't understand, Paul. We have red flag laws now. You know what else is red? Communists. Communists are red.
That's good.
So all these red flag laws are being pushed forward by communists, so kind of makes sense. Major Brian Polite, or is it Polite? I'm not sure how to pronounce his name. Major Brian Polite, a spokesperson, not a spokesman, he's a spokesperson. Isn't that a waste of letters?
Gender neutral. Got to keep it gender neutral.
Oh, it's New Jersey. For the New Jersey State Police told New Jersey 1015 that the troopers conducted an investigation and determined there was no need for the weapons to be seized. He also said they could not comment on whether the incident was related to the new gun law. They're like, we have a shiny new law. It's time to bust it out. Let's go crack some peasant skulls. Alexander Rubain from the New Jersey Second Amendment Society said there have been many times where people are falsely accused of crime by sheer accusations and their firearms are taken away. That's because you live in a communist dictatorship, New Jersey. That's because your state is completely corrupt. You have been corrupted by socialism. Your government is filled with tyrants, and you are tax slaves. And yet you sit in the middle and suck on it. I don't know what else to tell you. But the gun Gestapo is, you better tell your kids when they go to school, don't speak or speak in hushed whispers, because your friends, the kids you go to school with might be part of Big Brother's secret society, and they're going to inform on you to His Majesty the King. And the gun, next thing you know, here comes the gun Gestapo. No warrant. And they're like, well, we're working on our investigation, so you have to take the gun somewhere else. How about you venture forth and fornicate yourself? Or maybe you complete the investigation or conduct an investigation before you show up at my house at 10 o'clock at night like a Gestapo force that you are. Oh, hang on, Paul. The boys in blue can do no harm. I thought you supported the police. I do support police. I support law enforcement. Here's what I don't support. I don't support policy enforcement officers. I don't support gun Gestapos, and I don't support heavy-handed well, tyranny such as this, such as, because I'm a cop and I do anything I want, go anywhere I want, and take anything I want because I work for the state and you don't. You're a peasant. So if this guy wouldn't have stood up to him, what were they going to do? They're going to seize all of his property illegally, unconstitutionally, and then he would have to go and fight them to get his rights back. Oh, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know what to tell you. I mean, I do know what to tell you, but apparently people in New Jersey are not listening. So I don't know. All right. That's it. That is it for today's episodic adventure into Student of the Gun Radio. Now, tomorrow we're going to have a bonus hour numero uno, little Spanish lingity for you freaks out there. We did some Spanish lingity last week when we talked about Mexican police. We talked about the Mexican police being armed with slingshots. I don't know if we're going to talk about slingshots tomorrow, but there's going to be fun and frivolity that you will not want to miss.
Yes.
And if you're not part of the fun and frivolity that is the Student of the Gun grad program, you can do that. Go to getsotg.com and sign up. And Zachary, do you have all kinds of goodies and cool stuff for people who, when they become members of the grad program?
Oh yeah.
I do want to.
Sorry about that.
I do want to let you guys know that we're going to be releasing. We did the 5 strategies book a couple years ago for every new member to the grad program. When you sign up to be a new member, we're going to be sending you the 5 strategies book. By the time this releases, we're recording this prior to, but it'll be.
What? We do that?
Yeah, it'll probably be ready by the time this releases. What do you think?
It's called 5 Strategies That Could Save Your Life. Paul Markle.
Yep.
Is it a book by Paul Markle?
Yeah. Tips. What was it? Tips and
5 security strategies that could save your life. Tips from a professional bodyguard. That's me. And we're going to be offering that as a welcome aboard gift to all the new grad program members. So
We are?
Are we, Zach?
Yes, we are. And
Yeah,
I
okay.
have to cue the next music now.
Apparently we have to talk about something after this.
Yeah. All right. So
All right. Bye, everybody.
Drive on, hippies.
If you haven't left a review or updated yours recently, head on over to Facebook, iTunes, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, or your favorite podcast player to voice your opinion. Don't forget to join us at the Student Lounge, a place for like-minded individuals to learn, connect, and support each other. No chicanery will be tolerated. Remember to check studentofthegun.com daily for new, free content and giveaways. Watch, listen, read, shop, and connect at studentofthegun.com. Are you a social butterfly? Connect with us on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter for new content each and every day at Student of the Gun. Watch Student of the Gun TV and videos from our trusted partners on Roku, Apple TV, Amazon Fire TV, Chromecast, and even AirPlay. Go to studentofthegun.com for direct links, and remember, you're a beginner once, a student for life.
All right, I turned off the recording. I'm going to disconnect from the live streams here pretty soon. That one was cutting it pretty close. Did you hear that? Are you guys still there? No, they left me. All right, guys. Well, thanks for watching live. If you are not a member of the grad program, go to getsotg.com.